welcome to this video about guitar technique, and especially what people refer to as gypsy jazz picking technique. Now, I made another video about this some time ago. It's called Q&A with Christian, episode 2. It's linked under the video, so go check it out if you want to see it. Because in that video, I go very detailed into the exact mechanics of every possible pick stroke within this technique. And I don't want to do that today, because today's video is for people that are a little bit more advanced, but you have kind of a speed limit. And it's very difficult for you to play faster than that limit, and especially to play clean. Because in the end, what we use the technique for, what technique is being able to play fast while playing clean. And the thing that is needed for that is not only correct right hand technique, but most importantly, it's the coordination between your right hand picking and your left hand fingers. So if those two are not coordinated, then maybe you can play fast with your right hand, or maybe you can move your fingers on the left hand very fast. But if it's not coordinated, your lines won't sound clean. And for that, I've designed some other exercises. I have a whole bunch of them, but I want to show you a couple of them. And those are not the exercises that are in the other video. Those exercises are for people that are just starting out with the gypsy jazz picking technique. So do those exercises if you're a complete beginner. But if you have some idea of how to do it, then these exercises are for you, because they are especially designed to train coordination between the hands. And they are all based around diminished arpeggios. And the reason for that is that gypsy jazz vocabulary, especially the old style of gypsy jazz, evolves a lot around the diminished sound, diminished arpeggios. And if you are able to play diminished arpeggios with ease, or with great ease, you'll have conquered a great deal of the technical difficulties that can arise when playing that style, or when playing diminished arpeggios in any style. So I have let me tell you my 3 rules for practicing technique first. So the first rule is that you should do it every day, or at least every other day, because technique takes a long time to develop. So you cannot develop your technique in a month or 2 months or even a half year. It takes a couple of years even. And for the technique to develop naturally, you have to practice it every day. But, and that's rule number 2, I'd say not more than 10 to 15 minutes. Because after that, you'll get tired, you'll get frustrated with it, you'll get bored with it. So there's no point in practicing more than 10 to 15 minutes, but every day. Until, of course, you've developed very good technique and you don't have to do it every day. Then maybe you can do it like once a week. And my third rule is that always try to use a metronome, because you want to practice the technique exercises timed. Because in the end, your technique has to be, you have to be able with your technique to play in time, both straight eighth notes, but maybe most importantly, you have to be able to play it in swinging eighth notes. And that is a big problem with picking technique, but maybe gypsy jazz picking in particular, because of all the changes in the pick strokes, like sweeping, double downstrokes, alternate, and still keep a consistent swing rhythm is a difficult thing to do. So I'm going to show you all these exercises, if the tempo allows it, to play them in a swinging eighth note feel. Although there are also some triplet exercises. So the first exercise, and all the exercises will be on the screen, I've tapped them out for you, is this diminished arpeggio. And you play it up and down like this. So there's 2 downstrokes in a row, from the E to the G. So this is on the 5th fret. Down, down. So the first downstroke is what I referred to in my previous video as a half rest stroke. And I hear more people using that now, which is great because it's just a term I came up with in that video because I was looking for a term, but now it's a thing. I like it. So the E is a half rest stroke, and the next one, the G, is a full rest stroke. And the thing about doing double downstrokes is that it shouldn't feel like you're doing something difficult. If you're doing it correctly with the half rest stroke followed by the full rest stroke, it should just feel like two comfortable strokes. I don't feel the double downstroke. It feels natural to me. It almost feels like I'm doing alternate picking, but I'm not doing alternate picking. And the reason why I'm doing two downstrokes is because I want to have an accent on the G, because it's the beginning of the arpeggio, and also because it keeps the picking consistent from arpeggio to arpeggio. So let me do it with a metronome. And there's two ways to do it. You can do it stationary, so stay on the 5th fret, or you can move frets up, 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 and then maybe go down. So let me first do some stationary diminished arpeggios in swinging 8th notes, and then I'll move up a little bit and go down and go back down. So a good tempo to start is maybe 140 or 120. Depends a little bit on your level. Let me do it for you at 160, but I'm put the metronome on 80, so I have click 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So stationary. So you want to focus on playing the 8th note swinging. You want to focus on playing all the notes clear, not rushing. Maybe you should pick a little bit slower tempo so you can follow better. Let me put it at 140, so 70. And you can also do this exercise with the click on 2 and 4, like this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the first exercise. And the maximum speed for this I can probably do it at like 130, maybe 140, so that's 280. And after that, it becomes sloppy. Let me try it once. There's a risk, of course, on video. But let me try it at 140. Let me see how I do. So that's 280. So at this tempo, it's going to be difficult to swing the 8th notes, so they'll be more straight, but I still try to kind of feel it like it's swinging. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's very fast. It's almost impossible to swing those 8th notes. And it wasn't also completely clean, but you know, I have to practice. Then the next exercise can be played both in 8th notes and in triplets. So let me first demonstrate it in 8th notes for you, or let me go over the notes very slowly. This doesn't use the pinky. This uses what I call white position, which is a position on guitar where there is a gap between one of your fingers. Usually it's between the 1st and the 2nd. So it's not one finger per fret, but there's a gap between my 1st and my 2nd finger. I'm not going to use the pinky, I'm going to use my 3rd finger. And I would advise you to use the same fingerings because this trains this white position and it trains movement in the white position between 3 fingers, which is what you'll be mostly doing if you play in white position. The last exercise was a closed position and it used the pinky, so this one doesn't use it. So the notes slowly will be it's another diminished arpeggio, but this time over 3 strings, or 4 strings. So this exercise trains this arpeggio, of course, but it also trains many different pick strokes in a row. It's quite challenging, and it also has the double downstroke again. So do this one very slowly to start with. Let me do it for you. Let's do 60. So that's 120 in swinging eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move. Back. So notice that I'm keeping my hand in a wide position. So when I move up, my hand will never close. So if you go back, for example, and you have to hit the D, then if you don't move your first finger, your hand will be in a closed position. I always try to keep my hand in a wide position. You see? And this is necessary to do, especially when you have to play this fast. So now you can also play this exact same exercise in triplets. So I would say maybe start around, let's do 80, but then it's not half time. It's just every beat has a click. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, papa ti taka 3, 4. So the top speed for the triplets probably would be around, probably, I think it's like, for me, it's probably around 160 maybe. Let me try. I don't know, maybe faster. Let's see. Let's try 160. Wow, that's really fast. I can do it faster. Let's try 170. Mm. $180. I think when I practice this once, I think I remember now 190. Like 180 is still clean, 190 becomes very sloppy. So 180 should still be quite clean. It's okay. Let's try the 190. Probably I won't succeed. So no, that's not clean, and it's also rushing. So 180 is probably my top speed for this exercise, but I think if you can do it at 160, 70, your technique is getting into shape. And the nice thing about this exercise is you can also do it like normal diminished arpeggio, so shifting or moving the arpeggio up 3 frets and 3 frets and 3 frets down. I will do it maybe at 150. I'll show you. Like this. Okay, great. So this exercise both eighth notes and triplets, and then let's do an exercise over all 6 strings. Go back to my eighth note tempo of about, let's do 60. So I will show you the notes first. So when you move up, you can stay in the same position. When you move down, you have to actually jump, passing your own finger. So like this. Right, so let me demonstrate this exercise a little bit faster so you will hear what it sounds like. Let's do 100s. So that's 200s. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I was trying to keep the swing feel. It's quite difficult with all the big strokes. So that's a real challenge, but a good challenge. So this exercise, I have a variation for this in triplets, and this has some nice variations you can do within the triplet exercise actually. So I will show you the basis of the exercise, which goes like this. So all triplets. So this trains playing 3 notes per string while going down, which is something you have to do often, which is very difficult to do if you're not used to it, because you have these double downstrokes all the time while changing a string down. And the nice thing is on the way down, which is always 3 notes on the string and then the same 3 frets on the string lower and stuff, you can use any combination of 3 fingers you want. So now I did 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, but you can do 4, 3, 1 or 4, 1, 2 or 4, 3, 2. Let me do it with, for example, 4, 3, 2. So let's put the metronome. These are triplets again. So let's start around 80. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. I did some variations, changing the pattern of my the 3 notes per string going down. So let me try it a little bit faster. Maybe let's do 110. And I'll do it stationary. I move it up a couple of times, move it down, and use different combinations of 3 fingers. So that is the last exercise I want to show you. You have a lot of work to do to get these up to speed. I still do them, and during the workshops I will teach in Los Angeles during Christian van Hemert's Gypsy Jazz Summit, hosted by Tommy Davey of JamalGuitars.com in February 18th to 21st. I will do a whole workshop only about technique, and we'll go over all the mechanics, and I have some new tips for you, some stuff I discovered after I made the last video, which will help you, I'm sure. And I designed a lot of exercises around those new principles. And that workshop is both for people that are just starting out and people that are more advanced. And I will also talk about this during the workshop in Django, in the festival of Robin Nolan called Django Amsterdam. And that workshop will be on the 27th of January. So I hope to see you on one of those workshops, or maybe in the next video. If you like the videos, as always, give it a like, subscribe, because that helps me out, keeps me motivated. And I'll see you next time. Bye.